from me.
4 last operator standing.
I didn't even play the fucking. Play.
That had to happen.
That was easy. You're welcome. Literally, if you want to hear an operator I'm playing, just fucking tell
Did
me.
you just an ace?
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Vexian, and today I'm going to be doing a settings tutorial. Those coming to this video from YouTube. I'm a streamer. A lot of people in my chat come in and ask what my settings are. I post a lot of stuff to Instagram as well. A lot of people there DM me every day asking what my settings are, so I thought I'd make a video on it because a lot of people are new to the game, or they just don't know what settings they are, and they think maybe if I can get slightly better settings, or I use this person's settings, I can get out of the rank I am. So today I'm going to be doing a settings tutorial on kind of what I'm running. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to be going through these categories one by one, starting off with the gameplay. Gameplay is not really going to be that impactful. The only thing that I highly recommend is ping on. These are the little yellow pings in game. They're great for information. They're great for calls. They can help visualize something. If you don't know the call, you can ping it. Great. Maybe you need to be like, hey, I need this breached here. You can ping it on the floor so they breach the right spot. Very useful. Highly recommend it. Game info, that's kind of preferenceable. I have it off right now, but every time there's a new big update, there's just an update today introducing the Vulcan API. I will be turning it on for the next few days to see what my performance is looking like. It's 60 in the menu because I have it locked at 60 in the menu. But this is pretty good. It tells you what version of the game you are, your FPS, and your MS, so your response time to the server. It can be good if you're lagging, so you can like just pop it on real fast, check if you're actually lagging, and it's like, be like, hey mom, get off Netflix, something like that. So I usually have it off. Most of the time, when there's a big update, I'll have it on for a few days to make sure my performance is good, and then I'll switch it off. But I'm going to switch it off now for the tutorial. This is also preference. When you're cycling through cameras, this will bring you back to the first camera in the group. So there's 3 Valkyrie cams. When you cycle back to the group, if you back and forth, you'll always land on the first camera of that group. So if you go to a yokai back to a Valkyrie, you won't be the 3rd Valkyrie camera. It'll be the 1st. Again, personal preference. I have this off. I don't particularly like it. I feel like it's too distracting. To audio, do this to your native language. I speak English, so my spoken and menus and subtitles are all going to be English. I have subtitles off. I find them distracting. A lot of people do have them on. Again, personal preference here. Master volume, 100%. I have my desktop audio at 100. I have my master at 100. Best way I can hear things in game, so I can hear people a few rooms away breaching. I can hear an ash rush a little bit better, stuff like that. I can hear repels. Highly recommend. Music volume is at 0. I don't like hearing the music in the menu. Simple as that. Dialogue volume 100. So when I shoot someone and I hear them ah, or like I shoot a castle and he goes ah, I can hear that a little bit better. I can hear downs more because I have points off. I don't really like them. They're distracting. I have them on some accounts. I don't know if I have them on this account. Dynamic range, night mode. This makes gunshots a little bit quieter. However, it makes footsteps louder and repel noises louder. It also makes hitting the diffuser louder. So faint noises are going to be louder, where louder noises are going to be fainter. Highly recommend using this. It helps a lot. Voice chat volume at 100% so I can hear my teammates give bad calls because I'm most likely going to die from their calls. I don't even know why I have this on because most of my teammates are useless, but sometimes they can give a good call. You can get a free kill, maybe win the round. I usually don't touch these. I have my voice chat record threshold 100 and chat record threshold 20. Display. Here's my monitor, the Optics Mag 24C. Kind of a banging monitor. It's a pretty cheap budget 144 monitor. For my resolution, I run 1920 by 1080. I run full screen. My refresh rate is 144. I have it locked at 120 because of INI files. It's locked at 60 right now because of the menu. I'm not too sure if that's because of Vulcan. I'm going to have to look into that after this. But, lock it to your refresh rate. Highly recommend if you have a 144 or 120 hertz monitor, leverage that. It is game changing and it does help a lot to secure kills. And ironically, it's very good. My aspect ratio is 5:4. Because I run a 69 aspect ratio monitor, I run 5:4. It's very, very stretch resolution. Makes people a lot easier to see on with hollows and longer lines of sight. Highly recommend it. VSync is off. VSync is terrible. Don't use VSync. You're going to lose performance. Widescreen letterbox is also off. This makes black bars vertically. Not a big fan of it. My field of view is 90. I have this just so I can see everything. Higher field of view tends to more kills because you can see things out of your peripheral. Some people like 84. 84 is totally okay. I've used 84 in the past. I'm just using 90 right now because I like seeing things out of my peripheral. I like seeing things when I'm turning corners really fast. It just allows me to process information. For my calibration, I run 70 brightness. 70 is just it's a good balance. It's not too dark. It's not too light. It's not like if it's too light, it washes out your screen a lot. If it's too dark, you can't see certain corners. 70 is a good middle ground. Graphics. A lot of this is you're gonna want to be running a lot of this on low, except for 1 or 2 things. I run all of these on low or linear just for performance reasons. Texture quality on low, better performance. Texture filtering on low, linear, better performance. All these are just better performance. I don't even have a bad GPU. I have a 1660 Ti, so it's a little bit higher end of middle of the pack, but not like a 1080 or something like that, or I guess a 2080 now. The only thing I do recommend having medium is shadow quality. If you run low shadow quality, shadows become static, meaning they don't move and they don't work with global illumination. Having medium, you can see shadows move and you can see them around corners. It's very useful for getting information on enemies and positions like where they're holding. Highly recommended. Things like these, reflection quality, ambient occlusion, lens effects, zoom and depth of field, all of these are strictly for like visuals. They're effects. They just make the game look pretty. They don't add anything and they tax your GPU quite heavily. I don't recommend it, but if you're into if you're into this game looking really nice, download the Ultra HD texture pack, turn all these things to 4K textures, run all this, it'll look fantastic. Your GPU will start screaming. Game does look really nice on all of them. I've had some fun on custom games where I load all these up max, and the game looks absolutely beautiful and stunning for a game that came out in 2015. But at the exact same time, I like having performance. I play this game every day for like 8 hours a day. I want to have those frames. Those frames can help win gunfights. For anti-aliasing, render scale, and and then like sharpening, I have my render scale at 100%. I have my anti-aliasing off, and my TSA is at 0. That's just kind of how I've always had it. It just helps for performance. Simple as that. For controls, first and foremost, raw input off. Take that off. That shit is terrible. Absolutely god awful. It just doesn't feel right. I always have it on. Look inversion disabled. This makes it so right now I'm moving my mouse up and down. With look inversion, if I move it up, it'll actually go down. I mean, some people like that. I personally don't. I highly recommend not using it because it's kind of weird. It just goes against the natural order of things. Mouse sensitivity, horizontal and vertical, both 12. Whatever yours is, even if you don't want to use these, I personally use these because I feel like it's the best. I've been using it for years and years and years. I originally was on 14.14, but I've gone to 12.12. With lower sensitivity, it gives you a lot more precision and a lot more fine tuning, so you can make micro adjustments a lot easier. So say if you're maybe half an inch from their head, with this, it's a lot easier to drag it over. You have a lot more control. If it's at say double this, it'll be a lot harder and you'd have to make a lot smaller movement. Making a large movement on your mouse pad for a small movement in game is a lot better than making a small movement on your mouse pad for a large movement in game. You have a lot more control moving large movements and hand motions on your mouse pad. My ADS is 53. I've always used 53. I've used 53 since year 2 from switching over to PC. It's never let me down. I like it a lot. It feels really comfortable. Really good. I have my mouse scroll disabled. I personally like switching with my number keys, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mainly do this because if you use your scroll wheel, most of the time your gadget is bound to your scroll wheel or something else is bound to your scroll wheel. So you can end up, say, pulling out your gadget and pulling out your gun, and say you're a thermite and you got to pull out your gadget and to get the wall, and they ban it trick and you pull out your gun, then boom, you lose your thermite, you can't really get it back, and your gun's out. It doesn't really help. I highly recommend just disabling it. It's a lot easier to get used to switching to your 1 and 2 keys because a lot of other FPS games just also use that, so that's just usually what I do for my rule of thumb. Gadget deployment is advanced. I have advanced gadget deployment on because when I can pull my gadget out, I also get to choose where I place it. If you don't have advanced, it automatically pulls it out and places it. You don't have much say in where it goes, and there's a lot of repositioning. So it may take slightly longer manually doing it, but again, you have a lot more control. Drone deployment. I have drone deployment on advanced for the same reason I have gadget deployment on. Also, it's good for baiting. I like going around corners and breaking lines of sights with enemies. I throw my drone out, they push me, or if I just droned out a room and I know someone's there, I'll hop on it. I'll throw another drone out, hop on it, and I'll bait an enemy in. Or if I know someone's there because of sound cues or because of my teammates calling out, maybe I throw a drone out and bait that guy again. I use this more for a baiting thing. It also is pretty useful to have. So say I can be, a good example is on console, I'll run outside Z windows, hop out, throw my drone in. It's just a lot safer than just throwing it in the hallway. It gives me a lot more control, and that's why I like it. Aim, lean, sprint, crouch, prone, walk. Your movement keys and your aim key. I have my aim key on hold. That's just personal preference. I've been playing on hold forever. I really like hold. A lot of people use hold. Now, a lot of pro players do use toggle. I just couldn't make it work. Toggle's not bad because you only apply pressure to one part of your mouse while in a gunfight, which gives you a lot more control of your mouse. But it is very hard to get used to. So I just use hold. Hold's really good. If you've been playing games on mouse and keyboard for a while, I just use hold. Hold's pretty solid. I have lean on toggle. Lean on toggle allows me just to press it, and then I'm just leaning. I can do other things with my keys. So, for instance, maybe I'm playing Zofia, right? I just press E, lean, boom, I'm leaning right. Pull out my gadget, bam, we're good to go. It just feels really good to be doing that on on toggle. I've always used toggle. Hold's kind of weird because then if I'm moving, I can't really crouch and lean and move at the same time. So that's why I have it on toggle. Sprint I have on hold because it gives me a lot more control of when I want to sprint. I don't have to tap it twice to unsprint. Toggle sprint's kind of weird. Doesn't really work in an FPS. In a game like a MOBA, toggle sprint makes sense, or a battle royale, it makes sense. But in Siege, I highly recommend just running hold sprint. Crouch I have on hold as well. I had crouch on hold for crouch spamming, not gonna lie, but I also have it on hold for a few other reasons. Just again, same reason as sprints, gives me a lot more control over when I want to crouch and for how long I want to crouch. It just works better for me. The only thing I do have on toggle is prone, so I can just press prone and just kind of do whatever. Usually I don't prone often, and that's because I have it. That's why I have it on toggle. It's because I don't prone often. I have it on toggle. I can just kind of leave it there. I can prone, say hold an angle. I don't have to worry about holding it down. Walk I have on hold. I've never used walk in this game. I don't believe it makes your sound silent. It's just not good. If you are gonna use it on hold. Same reason, like same thing as CS:GO. If you play CS:GO, just run it on hold. But it doesn't it doesn't help with any sound or anything like that. So that's it for the settings. These are controller settings, but these are all default. I have played this game for thousands of hours, and I've never touched these. If you do play controller, good luck, man. I recommend switching over to mouse and keyboard, though. So these are my settings. If you guys enjoyed, if you guys want more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. I'll gladly make some more videos like this. No problem. Like, if you guys want to see how to play certain operators, how to roam, how to do stuff like that, let me know in the comments below.